We are ready to sink their ships.
Okay, good.
I miss the fresh air.
I miss the fresh air too.
I miss the fresh air.
We all miss the fresh air.
Following the treacherous and unexpected Japanese attack at Pearl Harbor on the morning of December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the U.S. territories in the Pacific began falling one by one to the Japanese invasion. As the U.S. struggles to bring together its naval forces in the Pacific and prepare retaliation, you have to take the role of Admiral Chester William Nimitz, newly appointed Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. Your task is to bring together all the U.S. naval forces demoralized by a series of disgraceful defeats, strengthen them, heighten their spirits, and prepare to turn the tide of the Pacific War. By employing carefully considered strategy, shrewd tactical moves, providing your forces with the newest and most up-to-date equipment, and exploiting enemy weaknesses, you have to retake all territories seized by the Empire of Japan in the Pacific, and then invade their homeland. The whole world needs to be made aware of what happens when one dares to attack the United States of America.
Oh, the audio got cut out there.
Since time immemorial, the Japanese were renowned warriors, stalwart, honorable, and bound by duty. However, the 20th century came, and proud descendants of Yamato State found themselves overshadowed by the world's superpowers, the United States and the British Empire. Striving to become their equal, the Empire of Japan began to amass military strength and quickly ran into a dire shortage of resources. It led to conquering the territories of China and Indochina. The United States and its allies were quick to react, condemning Japan as a warmonger and putting an embargo on all strategic resources imported by Japan. Hull's note was soon to follow, putting an ultimatum to the Japanese government: leave all newly conquered territories or suffocate due to a trade embargo. You, as Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the Commander-in-Chief of the Combined Fleet, have to carry out the Emperor's order and wage war against the United States and its allies in the Pacific Ocean. You understand that this is an insurmountable undertaking, as the enemy economic power is tenfold and its numeric advantage on the sea is too overwhelming. Yet none of it is a valid reason to forego your duty before His Majesty the Emperor and your country. Bound by honor, you come up with a desperate plan of how to equalize.
Again, the audio gets cut out too early. Okay, so yeah. The enemy strength, the prestige that you receive when you win, and the cost of unit reinforcements, that's basically how the difficulty is generated. Let's go for reasonable, which puts them at 80%. Storytelling is 40%. Let's do that just so we can progress through and see what the game is all about. Just to start, I'm actually going to play the USA campaign. We're going to start on the Japanese campaign, just so that I've got some under my belt. Under my belt.
Admiral Yamamoto, reporting the results of the exercises. All targets were hit. During the past few months, Our pilots have improved the effectiveness of their torpedo attacks significantly.
Good. I will personally express our gratitude for their distinguished service.
Fighter pilots are asking for permission to use aerobatics during training flights and military exercises. Previously, we have forbidden such training due to a high mortality rate among pilots.
Permission granted. If the war breaks out and our pilots are ill-prepared, we will have many more deaths. They should train rigorously.
Yes, sir.
Interesting cutscene.
My, how beautiful the blossoming sakura is. Do you not think so, Yamamoto? It has already started to blossom while our Navy is still resisting any decisive actions against the United States.
The sakura blossom is magnificent indeed, but soon its flowers will fall. Would not the whole of Japan fall as well if we enter the hopeless war against the United States and Great Britain, Army Minister Tojo?
The Army is sworn to protect the Emperor, but without fuel we cannot perform our duty. Thus, we need to occupy Indochina and utilize its oil production.
That action will only worsen the situation. I am afraid as of now, 80% of our fuel is imported from the US. If we invade Indochina, we will get a powerful enemy and still be left without fuel.
So what? Do we have to keep dancing to the Yankees' tune? Absolutely not! We cannot wait for their wretched pittance. We must take what is necessary to protect our Emperor and our homeland without paying attention to anyone else.
The Navy as a whole and myself personally stand firmly against the war with the United States. They will immediately be joined by Great Britain and the Netherlands. Their combined forces are too powerful.
Our samurai spirit and faith in the Emperor will help us overcome any foe.
I see it as a not well considered childishness. Only the personal command of the Emperor, whom I faithfully serve, will make me lead the Navy against the United States.
It's quite badly written and
Japanese troops invaded southern
politically
French Indochina
guided,
on
I'd say.
July 28, 1941. In response, the U.S. government imposed trade sanctions on Japan, including the freezing of Japanese assets in the United States and an embargo of oil exports to Japan.
The whole note. It is preposterous. How many more insults do we have to endure? The Yankees want to keep us on a leash, put us in the doghouse, only to be fed their leftovers. This is equal to a declaration of war.
You have become a prime minister, General Tojo, but have not become more prudent. Did you really expect the United States to ignore our occupation of Indochina? A wise man will always find a way to avoid...
Admiral Yamamoto, can you not finally understand? If we succumb to the United States without a fight, we will surely become just one more state in the United States and the Japanese nation will be lost forever. Whereas, if we accept the fight, uneven as it may be,
his
then
nose looks
even
weird.
if we lose, our descendants will be able to revive Japan and keep on living while holding their heads high.
It is not you who will be dying, General Tojo. It is Japanese youth.
If necessary, I am more than ready to give my own life for the Emperor, our country, and its future.
And who gave you the right to decide for the whole of Japan?
His Majesty the Emperor has decreed that we develop and execute an attack against the United States fleet in order to protect our interests in the Pacific Ocean.
I will comply with the Emperor's will. I expect that we will officially declare war on the U.S. right before the beginning of our attack. We must not dishonor our country in the whole world's eyes.
I think you have a point, Admiral. I will make sure to warn our diplomats.
Admiral Yamamoto, the Navy headquarters have devised a plan of attack on Pearl Harbor according to your instructions. Our first air fleet will annihilate the U.S. Pacific Fleet with one decisive blow.
I consider it my duty to remind you that I always consider this fancy plan of yours an unjustified gamble. We must proceed with time-tested methods, not some fantasies.
Time-tested methods are great if the opponents have equal strength. We, on the other hand, have to make a miracle for Japan to come out victorious after this war.
Aye, aye, Admiral.
Ugaki, please provide our diplomats with the exact timing of the upcoming attack. They have to make public our declaration of war before we begin the attack.
Consider it done.
They've gone all out with the cutscenes, haven't they? They've put a lot of effort into this, it's obvious.
Tomorrow I have to
Where's
leave
his fingers
Tokyo
gone?
together with my fleet. I cannot say where we are headed, but I won't be back for quite a while. I'm afraid that food shortages will soon begin all over Japan. With this, you will not starve.
Yamamoto-san is too kind to me. I will miss you so much. Please, write to me as often as you can. Your letters are always so wonderful.
I definitely will. You too should not forget your good old Yamamoto.
That was a tad weird.
From Prime Minister Tojo to Admiral Yamamoto. The die is cast. The great Japanese nation is going to war to protect its sovereign land and legitimate interests from this insidious enemy's assaults. Japan has
There's a
never
whale.
confronted such a powerful and dangerous adversary as the USA. However, with the help of the gods, we'll carry out our plan. The samurai spirit and willingness to sacrifice will lead us to victory. The Emperor has
There's
entrusted
fish
you,
in the water.
Admiral Yamamoto, with the combined fleet, as you are the most dignified and skillful naval commander. The fleet is facing the task of great importance, and the fate of the nation depends on your command. Now you must deal a sudden, devastating blow to the enemy, which they will not be able to recover from. I order you to start the operation with full confidence in the power of the Imperial fleet and in the blessings of ancient spirits on your noble mission. Glory to the Emperor!
Admiral Chuichi Nagumo, Commander of the Task Force speaking. We are now within striking distance from Pearl Harbor. No activity of the American fleet is detected. I request to clarify the tactical situation and location of the targets utilizing the latest intelligence.
Great, Admiral Nagumo. Now my Chief of Staff, Admiral Matome Ugaki, will provide you with relevant data.
According to the provisionally adopted plan, we must defeat the forces of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, concentrated in Pearl Harbor, with a sudden and powerful blow from our carrier-based aircraft. At the same time as the airstrike, our submarines should secretly enter the harbor and torpedo the enemy ships. Unfortunately, both U.S. Pacific Fleet carriers left Pearl Harbor a few days ago. Their current location is unknown. However, according to the intelligence reports, the 8 battleships that constitute the U.S. fleet's essential strength are compactly concentrated in the eastern part of the harbor. In order to weaken the enemy's forces enough, we must sink at least 4 of them. Although it would be preferable to have all of them destroyed. Also, it is crucial to neutralize American aviation. It is an easy target now, as it is concentrated at the airfields. I suggest you bomb them before the majority of the enemy planes can get airborne. Besides ships and planes, the infrastructure must become our next goals. The enemy's northern, central, and southern oil storage facilities, the shipyard, and the power plant in Pearl City. I would like to stress again that Pearl Harbor must be struck suddenly and severely. We should not give the enemy a chance to recover and organize effective defense. There are radar systems in the north of Oahu. With the help of those, the enemy can see our forces from a distance. This has to be considered during the operation. That's all.
Well then, I command to start the attack, and may our ancestors' spirits be with us.
That's quite an ask. It's a big build-up, a lot of information to take on board. You're really going to have to think about how you're going to do it, which is cool. I like that. Primary objectives: destroy the enemy battleships. If you click on that, nothing happens. Wipe out the enemy aircraft. So aircraft and battleships are the two most important things. So if we go to naval units and find our...
Your forces are comprised of both core and non-core units. Core unit strength indicator is green and round shaped, and for non-core units it is yellow and hexagon shaped. Non-core units are allocated for one mission only, while the core units will accompany you throughout the campaign. You'll be able to level them up and provide them with new equipment. These units are the ones which should be under your primary protection.
Right.
Just show us the target.
Okay, so we've got to get all the way around the outside, so let's... as best we can.
No one can stop me, except for you.
So he appears to be above the water, which in all honesty is not quite where I want him. How do I make him dive? How do I make him dive?
Ammunition and fuel icons next to unit strength will allow you to quickly get important information about it. If the unit is still able to move during the current turn, the canister icon will be green. If it can no longer move, the icon will be gray. Likewise, the ammunition icon shows whether the unit has attacked this turn. If the unit is low on ammunition or fuel, the corresponding icon is yellow. It becomes red once the unit has run out of it completely.
No one can stop me, except for you.
That's weird, isn't it? No one can stop me, except for you. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Right, so we've moved... Oh, hang on. These are not subs. God damn it. Where are my subs?
Imperial submarine here.
Cannot believe I just did that. Right, so the subs are ready. How do I get them to... How do I get them to dive? Do they just dive automatically? How do I get them to dive? They can launch a seaplane as well? That seems unrealistic. Fully submerged. So that's its current status. Okay. That's interesting. How do I know whether or not I can level up? Because it's not giving me the option. Okay, so what's this then? This is... The red marker is the distance I can travel fully submerged. Is that what that means?
Ships consist of various ship parts such as hull, engine, main gun, second gun, anti-aircraft gun, and others. Most of them have their own HP indicating their current state. When hull HP drops to 0, the ship is destroyed. Ship firepower depends on the current HP of each individual gun.
So that's its skills. So I want to go fully submerged, but for some reason I don't know how.
We are ready to sink their ships.
Okay, good.
I miss the fresh air.
I miss the fresh air too.
I miss the fresh air.
We all miss the fresh air. Okay. Ideally, I wanna move
Where
this.
are your eyes, or our godly emperor?
See, that does not look submerged to me. I don't believe that is submerged. So that must be the attack.
The submarine is an invisible enemy unless it is detected via sonar. It can make powerful attacks with torpedoes and then instantly retreat to avoid detection. Torpedoes deal damage exclusively to ship hull, thus being a very effective tool to make quick work of damaging or destroying an enemy ship.
Okay. So
Silent and deadly.
presumably then they are underwater, but it would be nice, I think, if the animation actually showed that it was underwater. Also, you can't rotate. Can you rotate? See any way to rotate? Okay, back to naval.
Where are the sea wolves?
They are the sea
Have you checked for
wolves.
escort ships? Finally, some orders. Have you checked for escort ships?
So if you double click, it'll instantly quick move to that location, which is fine. So trying to remember whereabouts is that the radar there? That is most definitely the radar. So I'm thinking
Aircraft carrier, or simply carrier, is a mobile floating airfield at your disposal. Each carrier can carry several aircraft units on board. You can see the exact carrier capacity in its combat parameters. It also has a huge storage of ammunition and fuel on board, which is used to refuel and rearm aircraft units upon landing, as well as for the carrier's own needs. Carriers are vulnerable and a high priority target for the enemy, thus they should be kept at a safe distance, attacking with their aircraft from afar. Yet they have powerful anti-aircraft guns which they can use to repel enemy air raids. If the carrier's flight deck has 0 HP left, or the carrier is on fire, its flight deck is no longer functional and aircraft cannot land or take off.
We will not let the Emperor down.
you do have to
The battleships
wonder.
are the muscle of the Imperial Navy. We are its brain.
Will there be fighters covering us?
Oh, son of a bitch! I didn't want you to go there. Oh, I can't believe you just did that. This is the problem with left click doing everything, is you quite often... So I was trying to select this, whatever this is. What is this?
We surpass pathetic Gaijins in everything.
The Shuku class.
We are the heart of the Imperial Navy. No matter
So they're
what
both
the battleships say.
Shokaku class airships.
We are
But
the
what I
heart of
wanted
the
to know
Imperial
was...
Navy. No matter
So
what
that's a
the battleships
fighter. This
say.
is a fighter and that's a dive bomber. So, okay. I get that.
Tactical bombers are flying artillery and a great tool for wreaking havoc on any enemy troops, although you have to be careful of the anti-aircraft units Overwatch and fire support. It is better to scout the enemy positions before sending in bombers. Do not leave your tactical bombers without protection. Remember, they are a prime target for enemy fighter planes.
Yeah. Okay, so... right click does that. Right click gives you information about the tile that you've just right clicked on. I much prefer right click be move, left click
We
to
have more
select,
guns than the
right
entire
click to
enemy
move.
fleet. if you
That
include
just makes way more sense to me. So, like, how do I have to press escape to deselect that unit?
us.
Whereas, you know, left click could be select and deselect. If I click there, so let's do a little test. So if I click on a unit and I left click, see, that doesn't deselect the unit. Even though I can't move, and I know I can't move, I cannot deselect it without pressing escape. I think that could be made better. I really do think that could be made better. So left click to select and deselect a unit. So if I select outside of its reach, it should deselect that unit. And if I select a unit, right click should be what moves it, so that you don't accidentally try and select one unit and accidentally move another, which is what just happened to me. So can I rotate, which is where this all started? Have a look, see here. WASD is camera movement. Camera rotation, Q and E. Ah, so you can rotate. That's good. I had a feeling you could. Why you can't do it with the mouse, I don't know. But okay, whatever. So, alright, that's quite good. The water animation is pretty decent. All sorts of fish and whales and all kinds of things. The modelling on the ships themselves, pretty decent. Quite detailed looking. I like that. What else have we got? Hotkeys. Tab is next unit. Shift and tab. Previous. N10 is enter. Alt enter. Full screen window mode. Yeah. Control H. Show interface on the battle screen. Let's have a look at that. Control H. Oh, nice. You can have a really clean interface. Alright, that's quite nice. Keys. Quick save and load. Next unit that can move is N. Okay. Do all air naval. Put the unit to sleep mode for one turn is R. Okay. So this is the manual. I mean, first of all, why not make it the size of the screen? That way you can see more on the screen at once. Also, what's with the indentation at the beginning of each paragraph? Why not just have proper paragraphs? But okay, fine. No visuals, no imagery in there. It's all text. Okay. Settings, sound, game settings. Okay, so that's just that. Right. Okay, so I'm trying to think about how best to do this. I think... Try and get my bearings a bit here. I think we're going to have to take this out. And then we have 1, 2, 3 airfields, 4 airfields, 5 airfields. Holy cow. 5 airfields, 6 airfields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 airfields. I stand corrected. That's huge. What have we got down the side?
Destroyer is an escort ship equipped with medium caliber naval guns, anti-aircraft guns, torpedoes, and anti-submarine depth charges. It is inferior to capital ships in terms of combat potential. However, it is able to detect enemy submarines with sonar and destroy them with depth charges. A destroyer also provides fire support versus air attacks. Use destroyers for reconnaissance, convoy escort, anti-submarine, and anti-aircraft warfare.
The Imperial fleet knows no defeat. The Imperial fleet knows no defeat.
Okay, so that's an aircraft carrier as well. So we've got lots of aircraft carriers. Fair enough. So we're going to have to wage some attacks. I don't at this point know how many bombers it will take to take out an airfield. I guess we're just going to have to push in and do what we can. These two here, I would like to come and take out this airfield maybe I'll do the same with these two.
Just show us the target.
First time I've played this, so I am quite
Do
literally
not underestimate us.
guessing. Oh. Oh man, I moved the wrong unit. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, that was my mistake. I do like the animation though. That's pretty cool. So we're within range of that now, which is good.
Observing the horizon. Checking that sector.
That's what I meant to do, was bring that down. So if I get this...
If the battleships are the muscle of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain. Behind us is the rising sun. Ahead is eternal glory. Do not underestimate us. I'm sure you did reconnaissance before sending us there.
I'm sure I did. I absolutely did not. So, yeah, that was stupid. Okay, I didn't even... I see nobody mentioned there would be huge effing guns all over the place. So it didn't really... I mean, it makes sense now when it's quite obvious when you think about it.
Aviation, as it can land and take off from carriers. It can resupply ammunition and fuel and restore its damage on board a carrier. It can also change its equipment while on a carrier. However, in order to be reinforced, it has to land at an airfield.
Yeah.
We are the swarm.
Okay. So, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to...
Feel the power of the Empire.
Just going to randomly go for it. No anti-aircraft.
Our American friends have panicked. We are intercepting their messages. SOS. We have been attacked by the Japanese. Japanese aircraft have reached Oahu. And this is real. This is a Japanese attack.
Looks like those Japanese have ruined the Americans' day off.
Yes,
Are there
indeed.
any targets? We have more guns than the entire enemy fleet, if you include aircraft. Already there.
Alright, let's see what we can do. Can I attack that? No, because
delivered death.
Because that's a fighter plane, isn't it? Idiot. I don't want to move a fighter plane. So I've now...
Warriors of the sky.
So these are the mistakes I'm going to make at the beginning, but I wanted to put a bomber there, so I've screwed that up slightly. Alright, show me my aircraft. How do I distinguish... So that looks like a fighter.
Are always ready.
Be careful with the bombs.
And that looks like a bomber. Okay, so let's bomb... Oh, that didn't allow me to do it. That's weird. Alright, let's try again. Aircraft.
We bring death on our wings.
I guess he can't reach. No, he can reach, yeah. Go
Bow
bomb
to
that.
the gifts of the Empire.
It's not quite what I intended to do. I didn't expect to get into a battle straight away without...
Damage is indicated with the numbers above the unit being attacked. For ground and aircraft units, there are two types of damage, lethal and non-lethal. Both lethal and non-lethal damage decrease the unit's strength. However, non-lethal damage at the same time increases the number of units damaged, which can later be restored. Naval units always receive only lethal damage. However, they have multiple ship parts with their corresponding HP. Thus, damage against them is split. Ship parts except the hull are repaired over time by ship maintenance. Hull HP cannot be restored in any way during the operation.
Approaching.
So that, I believe, now is out of action. Looks like it. We do have quite a serious
All
problem
systems operational.
with these guns. So they'll attack anything in that range.
Operational.
Okay, I'm doing something weird here.
We
Let's
will
go
not
back
let
to
the
this.
Emperor down.
Let's hit that with some guns.
Destroy any target. We broke through the enemy. New trophy.
We kind of got away with that a bit. Is that with... I don't think that's within range.
Imperial Air Service.
So, I'm not sure... Right, that's a torpedo... Ah. That's a torpedo bomber.
Tactical bomber is here.
Torpedo bomber. Right, okay, I got it. I got it. So, let's...
Will there be fighters covering us?
There should be fighters covering you, shouldn't there? There's not. You're on your own, pretty much. But if I could get some visibility...
Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
We have more guns than the entire enemy fleet, if you include aircraft.
Verifying the enemy's location.
Right, that's cool. I know where they are now. That's what I should have done.
We surpass pathetic Gaijins in everything.
Those bombs are heavy.
Torpedo bomber. So we can start. That's beyond our range. We reach that one. That's weird. Look, I'm aiming at that one, but it's moving to a different one. It's so weird how that mechanic works. It's not good. That needs to be looked at. What I wanted to do was knock these ones out so they can't really escape, but
the enemy's gonna have a tough time.
let's just try and torpedo something. Let's get the ball rolling if we can. Nice. And
This is an enemy unit. Right click on it for more information.
right click on it for more information. Okay, that's good. So how damaged is this one? It's got a shell hole in the hull.
Those bombs are heavy.
So it seems like we don't have enough. We can move, but we can't attack.
There better be targets.
So I'm going to move over there.
We have more guns than the entire enemy fleet, if you include aircraft.
So we're going to come flying in over the top. Again, I think we'll only get to fire one torpedo, slightly frustratingly, but hey. So torpedo selected. No,
those bombs are heavy.
Torpedo is
Bow
now
to the
selected.
gifts of the Empire.
Okay, good. And again, we're unable
Carrying
to
enemy lines.
unable to do anything else. Okay, fine.
If the
So
battleships
what do
are
we
the
have
muscle
here?
of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain.
Dive bomber. Okay, so can you reach... No, that's too far. Can you reach this one? No, that's too bloody far as well. The only one you could have bombed is this one, and I stupidly put a plane on it, which is incredibly annoying. Okay, oh, okay, this one we can hit. Let's dive bomb that.
By shelling the enemy airfield, you also damage aircraft units located there. Enemy aircraft are much easier to eliminate on the ground than in the air.
So that can't reach there.
Are there new orders from our godly Emperor?
The airfield is 6 out of 10. Oh, that's this guy. Nougats. Okay, let's see what we can do.
Are there new orders from our godly Emperor?
What are these guys? These
the
guys...
weight of our bombs makes me feel more confident.
These guys are dive bombers. We'll go in, we'll do as much damage as we can.
In unity is our strength. Are we fully loaded?
Torpedo bomber. Okay, so this guy then is going to have to come over
In
here.
unity is our strength.
I mean, once you get used to the icons, you can probably figure out what's what much easier,
The
but
enemy's gonna have a tough time.
I think this is part of the learning curve. Why can I only fire one? Why can I only fire one? That
The
is quite
Imperial fleet knows
frustrating.
no defeat.
So this is also a torpedo bomber. Let's
Will there be fighters covering us?
no, there'll be no fighters covering you.
The enemy's gonna have a tough time.
So that's one down.
There better be targets.
They're going to take an absolute pounding in the next next turn, but hey.
If the battleships are the muscle of the Imperial Navy,
Oh, another
we
torpedo bomber.
are its brain.
So we only had one dive bomber in that lot.
The enemy's gonna have a tough time.
Okay, so we've done a bit of damage.
If
Nothing.
the battleships are the muscle of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain.
Nothing overly significant, but we're in the fight. A little bit earlier than I actually wanted to be in the fight, but nonetheless. So what do we have here? This is
Are we fully loaded?
This is also a torpedo bomber. Let's
Is someone observing that area?
try and hit this. I'd love to take out this airport if I could.
Poor souls.
So that's damaged it, which is great.
If the battleships are the muscle of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain.
Another torpedo bomber coming in. So we actually don't have that many dive bombers at all.
Poor souls. 2 ashes. Right on target.
Okay, so that's 2 down.
Do you require assistance?
Can you shoot out of range? Look. Ah, bugger. Buggeration! Alright, we'll do something. No sonar.
We carry the deadly arrows of the Emperor.
I can't attack anything else over there, basically.
Imperial Air Service. Here we come.
So this guy can move.
What should be destroyed next? Be careful with the bombs. We bring death on our wings. Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know? A tactical bomber is here. What should be destroyed next? Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
We bring the storm. Firestorm.
Why is that telling me that's a torpedo bomber?
Are we fully loaded?
Oh, it's not. It's telling me
What
that's
should be destroyed next?
a torpedo bomber. I don't know. What's the
Those
next
bombs
available
are quite
unit?
dangerous, you know?
So this can move? I think that's what it's telling me. If
the
I
battleships
move...
are the muscle of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain.
I am so confused. This is a torpedo bomber, right? Okay. But it can't actually reach anything.
Just a few moments and we'll be there.
Got you. Okay, well, let's get you into a decent position at least. See how that works. This is an awful first attempt. I know. Let's press N, 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 N. So we're done in 10. Oh, some sneaky little boats I didn't know about. Sonar. So he fired off some sonar to see whether or not we had any ships in the area. Is that it? Is that the end of his go? My go now?
We bring death on our wings.
Ah, interesting. So if I attack that, this will attack me. That's basically what that's saying. Not sure I can. Well, if it takes my unit out, I probably will care.
Are we fully loaded?
We bring the storm. Firestorm.
Alright, so this should go glass. Should be able to take that gun out.
Are you sure we should be on the front line?
Not really on the front line. Did he not shoot at him? Shoot at that.
The enemy has suffered some losses. Go on. We'll have to finish it. Hurry! We need to support our allies. Fire!
Oh, we did not do the damage
We bring the storm.
I was expecting.
Firestorm.
Yeah. Oh, there's another gun there.
We should be on the front line. They thought that we were an easy target, didn't they? Big mistake.
Yeah, that didn't go particularly well. Well, learning by getting my ass kicked. That's something at least.
Just show us the...
So if we come in
Moving carefully.
here. So we can do a bit of damage.
The horizon. Moving carefully.
I want this guy to keep track of any submarines that might be sneaking around this area. Oh, damn it, I can't reach.
Observing the horizon.
They can't do anything else.
We
Okay.
surpass pathetic Gaijins in everything.
Gun selected. I'm pretty sure that gun's almost completely, airport is completely out of action. Hopefully whatever comes off of here is going to get hit by our anti-tank.
If the battleships are the muscle
Guns.
of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain.
We have another one available here.
There are no enemy submarines in the area, right?
Right. We've got you covered on that front. For now at least. Can I reach that airport? No, I can't, so... So that airport is done. That's good.
Observing the horizon.
So what kind of range have you got? Not particularly good range. You got some proper guns though.
Entering the designated area.
Yeah, you're gonna get hit. Oh, you didn't get hit. Surprising.
Target acquired. For Japan and for the Emperor. Done. Who's next?
That's a step in the right direction.
Our strength is in numbers of dead enemies. Target acquired. Target acquired.
Okay, so we took...
Fighter planes are vital for gaining air superiority. Keep your fighters close to allied aircraft you want to protect, and they will provide fire support. Fighters are able to attack ground targets, although with low efficiency. They can use the Overwatch breakthrough skill to counter enemy anti-aircraft fire and clear the way for tactical bombers.
So I want him there as a defense thing.
The sky is like an ocean.
This is also
sharks.
This is also a fighter. And I have this
Already
one.
there.
This side.
Those bombs are heavy.
This is a dive bomber. And okay, well he looks to be fully equipped, but
Bombs away.
for some reason I can't bomb.
Carrying bombs to enemy lines.
I couldn't bomb the airport. It wouldn't let me. I don't really
The weight
understand
of our
why
bombs
yet.
makes me feel more confident.
Another dive bomber, can't quite reach there. Let's try
You can't hide from the blast waves.
and take out.
I am sorry, Commander. Some of the enemy did manage to retreat.
That's an anti-aircraft gun.
Is someone observing that area? A tactical bomber is here.
See, the whole hex thing is a real problem because I am hitting
Things
targets
are going to
that I
explode.
don't want to hit. It's quite broken.
Is someone observing that area?
Okay, so there's a bit of damage.
Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
So he's got bombs, but for some reason I can't attack.
You can't hide.
That's so
from the
weird.
blast waves. Carrying
Okay.
bombs to enemy lines.
Bit of damage
A
done.
tactical bomber is here.
Yeah, see, I want to attack.
Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
Oh, he's a torpedo bomber, this one. Okay, that makes
You
sense.
can't hide from the blast waves. Carrying bombs to enemy lines. A tactical bomber is here. You can't hide from the blast waves. Will there be fighters covering us? Imperial Air Service. You can't hide from the blast waves.
Can you move?
Will there be fighters covering us?
Okay.
Are we fully loaded? The enemy's gonna have a tough time. Approaching.
So I think if I get my bombers out of the way now,
Guns are always ready.
I'm fairly
Their
convinced
days are numbered.
that our submarines could do the rest.
There better be targets.
At least that's my plan, based on having never played this, not really knowing if that's going to work.
We bring death on our wings.
Let's take that guy out. He's still afloat, which is somewhat surprising, I'll be honest.
There better be targets.
Our guns are always ready.
Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
Okay, so how far can you reach? You can get in
You
there.
can't hide from the blast waves. We have freed their eternal souls from their miserable bodies.
Perfecto.
You can't hide from the blast waves.
It's still afloat.
Will there be fighters covering us?
Well, I'll be
Imperial
buggered.
Air Service. The enemy's gonna have a tough time.
Got him this time, surely. Nope.
Is someone observing that area? Imperial Air Service.
Torpedo bomber, come on. That must be. Hull HP is 4 of 4. I mean, he's not attacking any of our units anymore, so presumably he is quite damaged.
To enemy lines.
Imperial submarine here.
Okay, this
Can
is
we be
where
friends with them? Guess not.
this is where I'm hoping we're going to do the maximum amount of damage.
Beneath the waves.
Why did it stop? Good.
Launch torpedoes! Did we hit them? Can't see anything here.
So we're actually
I miss
not.
the fresh air.
We're actually
one
not
will
going to be
notice our
close
approach.
enough
Too bad for them. I miss the fresh air.
to do any significant damage to anything.
Exploring the. I miss the fresh air. Where are your eyes, or our godly emperor?
So we bypassed these guns, which is good, because they could have done some serious damage. That can't reach anything.
We are ready to sink their ships.
Neither can that, neither can that. Okay, so none of our subs can actually do any damage this time. And that's all of our units done. It says 9 of 14. It's not. When I click on next, it's not showing me any next units. So there must be units
Imperial submarine here.
There must be units that still have moves available. Maybe not.
We bring the storm. Firestorm. Your orders.
Okay.
Our strength is in numbers of
See,
dead enemies.
that can still fire. So when you press N to see next unit, it only shows you units that have physical moving
All
abilities.
systems. Operation.
So like that's still got
The
guns.
Imperial destroyer at your service.
I suppose technically that can't hit anything.
Observing the horizon. Do you require assistance?
Okay, we'll just agree and move on. The AI is planning. Oh, is he coming to look for our subs? Sneaky son of a gun. Right in the middle of all of them. Considering how many times we hit that, it did a lot of damage to us. What the hell is that shooting at us? Where did that bloody come from? Where did that come from? Weird. Right, okay.
I can't wait any longer.
So we got subs.
Who's there?
That one's
Imperial
still
submarine here.
that one's still afloat, which
What's
is nice. Surprising, but nice.
Underwater silence makes me mad. Have you checked for escort ships? Finally, some orders.
So what?
Death from below. Finally, some orders.
Surprisingly, that didn't
We
do
are the Sea Wolves.
hardly any damage at all. What a lovely view that was.
I miss the fresh air. The sharks are waiting for them.
Be advised, 4 American battleships have been sunk.
Nice.
Thank you for your great job, Admiral Nagumo. After losing half their battleships, the enemy fleet does not pose a big threat to us anymore.
So you think. Let's see here. What else can move?
How'd you see us?
How'd you see us? Sound like flipping Yoda.
Exploring the area. Ugh, I like rice, but could we eat something else for a change?
Oh, it's got a... Oh, no. It can move.
Looking for prey.
A fighter here.
Fighter. Okay, so whatever you do, Mr. Fighter, whatever you do, you need to land. So, go get you some fuel. Oh! Seems like the anti-aircraft gun has woken up. Okay, this one's not so bad. This is a fighter plane. What does all this indicate?
What does the Emperor want us to do?
So you're a fighter plane.
Those bombs are heavy.
So you, I want to bomb. I'm highlighting here, but it's actually going to bomb all the way over there, so
Watch out, it's anti-aircraft.
you need to be
overwatch fire.
super
It's
careful with
possible to
that.
attack the enemy positions protected
that's
by
where it is.
anti-aircraft units. Try making a preliminary attack on the enemy anti-aircraft units to disable their overwatch ability before sending any aircraft squadrons to engage them.
So will this fighter attack that or not? No?
Low on fuel, let's do it quickly. Low on fuel, let's do it quickly.
I can't attack that. Okay.
A fighter here.
Ah, he can attack it. Right. Let's do that then. Oh, bugger.
They have 0 chances.
Yeah, seems like their anti-aircraft has woken up.
Feel the power of the Empire.
Your aircraft is running out of fuel. In order to refuel, the aircraft has to land an airfield within a supply zone. Carrier-based aviation can use carriers as an airfield.
The weight of our bombs makes me feel more confident.
Dive bomber. So, this dive bomber, I want to hit their anti-aircraft gun, which is that one.
Things are going to explode. Is someone observing that area?
Didn't do as much damage as I hoped.
They bring death on our wings.
So... that needs to refuel.
Be careful with the bombs.
This is a dive bomber. This airfield is 100% operational.
Their days are numbered.
Oh my god. It's bad. So all their anti-aircraft guns are now kicking my ass.
A tactical bomber is here.
Okay, I can see this.
What should be destroyed next?
I can see the problems.
Poor souls.
Oh, there's one there as well. Right, they weren't manned
Those bombs are quite dangerous,
previously,
you know?
which made
Let's lose
life a
some
lot
weight.
easier.
Attacks on targets covered by enemy anti-aircraft units can cost you the loss of aircraft.
And, surprisingly,
Will there be fighters covering us? Are we fully loaded? The enemy's gonna have a tough time. Carrying bombs to enemy lines. The enemy's gonna have a tough time. Approaching.
it's still up and running.
Still here.
I cannot believe that.
We bring death on our wings. Things are going to explode.
Holy crap.
Here we come.
We bring the storm. Firestorm. We surpass pathetic Gaijins in everything.
I still have a shot, but I can't hit that a second time. I don't know why. Perhaps because it's been destroyed, or difficult to know why. So yeah, we've got range problems.
A new battle awaits.
Okay.
If the battleships are the muscle of the Imperial Navy, we are its brain. Behind us is the rising sun. Ahead is eternal glory.
So a bit of
Our
damage.
strength is in numbers of dead enemies. That area is under our control. Target acquired. Which weapon to use? Guess this one.
So we don't know how much damage
Do you require assistance?
we did to that, which is good.
Start the engine.
It would be no fun if it was too flipping easy.
Which weapon to use? Guess this one. Devastating gunfire.
The explosions are pretty good. I quite like that. So we still have firepower. If we can hit anything with that.
Imperial destroyer at your service. Imperial destroyer at your service.
Anti-aircraft it is. We're going to have to deal with those next.
Do not underestimate us.
Oh, maybe I can deal with them now.
They thought that we were an easy target, didn't they? Big mistake. The enemy has suffered some losses. Go on. We'll have to finish him.
That's pretty
Do
much
you require assistance?
out of action. Hit the airport, please.
No one can stop me, except for you. Protectors of the checking that sector.
Just outside of outside of my range. Okay, no subs yet.
I miss the fresh air.
Yes. Oh, you're a submarine. You got no
And you're a
shots left.
submarine here.
What should be destroyed next?
So, I'm guessing out of ammo.
Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know?
So you've got some bombs.
We're going to send them our generous gifts. Wow, that's a hit.
Gotcha.
A tactical bomber is here.
I'm not sure this one's going to be able to land.
Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage.
Okie dokie.
We're going to send them our generous gifts. Is someone observing that area?
So if I go there...
In unity is our strength. What should be destroyed next? A tactical bomber is here. You can't hide from the blast waves.
Okay. So you can't skip the animation of the
Are there
plane
new orders from our godly emperor?
landing, which is a little frustrating, I have to say.
I'm sure you did reconnaissance before sending us there.
Of course. Still operational.
We are ready to sink their ships. Ugh, I like rice, but could we eat something else for a change?
Torpedo bomber. Torpedo bomber has full fuel and whatnot. So take off. But very limited movement.
Just a few moments and we'll be there. Those bombs are quite dangerous, you know? Just a few moments and we'll be there.
I miss the fresh air. We are ready to sink their ships.
Okay. Gave us quite a slap. I forgot about that ship.
Devastating gunfire.
New trophy.
Alrighty.
I miss the fresh air. They won't escape our aim. Out of the game.
Gone.
No one will notice our approach. Too bad for them. We are ready to sink their ships. The crabs will feast on what is left beneath the waves.
That's him gone.
Underwater silence makes me mad. Ha. Poor sailors.
All the enemy's battleships are sunk. Incredible.
That's one thing
We would
achieved.
never have achieved such a result had we let the Americans prepare for the battle. Now I see that the plan of a sudden attack on Pearl Harbor was the only right one. Low on fuel, let's do it quickly.
Yeah, I don't think either of these guys... So that cost us fuel. I think he's going to run out of fuel before he gets to land.
A tactical bomber is here.
Tactical bomber, okay.
Poor souls. We have reduced the enemy numbers to 0. There better be targets. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage. Be careful with the bombs. Be careful with the bombs. Their days are numbered. Oh, that hurts. Is someone observing that area? The weight of our bombs makes me feel more confident. Explosions look like the rising sun. Good morning.
I forgot about him. Bugger. Yeah. Yeah.
We bring death on our wings. You can't hide from the blast waves. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage.
That's
a
frustrating.
tactical bomber is here. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage.
I'll skip to the
Be
next
careful
one.
with the bombs. Only a few bombs left. Prepare to disengage. The weight of our bombs makes me feel more confident.
Torpedo bomber. So we don't need you.
The weight of our bombs makes me feel more confident.
Out of fuel. Why has the Emperor abandoned us?
Are we fully loaded? Imperial Air Service.
Do not underestimate us. Are you sure we should be on the front line? The enemy has suffered some losses. Go on. We'll have to finish him. We have more guns than the entire enemy fleet, if you include aircraft. Our aircraft will destroy anything. All systems operational.
Do you require assistance?
Just show us the target. The American Air Fleet on Oahu has ceased to be a serious fighting force. In my estimation, we have destroyed more than half its planes.
It's good to hear that one of the most important operations goals has been reached. From Admiral Yamamoto to Prime Minister Tojo. Be advised that the operation against Pearl Harbor was a complete success. Our strike force is coming back with a victory.
From Prime Minister Tojo to Admiral Yamamoto. Convey my compliments to all members of the strike force. This is a great day for the Imperial Navy. I am now convinced that our naval power is in good hands. I have no doubt that, thanks to you and your valiant men, the enemy fleet will soon be destroyed and driven from the regions of the seas so vital to the Empire.
We did it. The Americans could not even grasp what was happening by the time we sunk their battleships. If we keep going, the victory is not far off. Long live His Majesty, the Emperor!
It is a victory. However, our main goal, the destruction of the enemy carriers, was not achieved.
Admiral Yamamoto, we have just been informed that our diplomats in Washington delivered the declaration of war 1 hour after our attack.
This is unimaginable. Our diplomatic service has brought unthinkable dishonor upon the Emperor and the people of Japan. We had to declare war on the United States before the attack. While our pilots and seamen have demonstrated combat valor and heroism of the highest esteem, our diplomats have stained our valiant effort with
Always
indelible
away.
shame. All right, what's done is done. Command Admiral Nagumo to attack Midway on his way back. We must not lose the initiative.
Aye, aye, Admiral.
The commander of the combined fleet, Admiral Yamamoto, has ordered you to attack Midway immediately, sir.
I am the commander of the First Air Fleet, and it is for me to decide whether it is expedient to attack or not. We will not do that. Our fleet has just sunk more than half of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, and after that, we are ordered to bomb some useless atoll? This is as if a sumo wrestler has just become a champion and was immediately sent to buy some groceries at the nearest market. It is unthinkable. I will not tolerate such disregard for me and my men. You can tell this to Admiral Yamamoto himself.
Aye, aye, Admiral.
Prissy.